And the first story we have to get to is the latest in the Ahmaud Arbery case. A lot of people talking today. We had the huge arrest breaking news last night. Chanley, I know huge updates today on what's going on. We now have 3 men charged with felony murder.
That's right. William Roddy Bryant is the 3rd arrest in the shooting investigation of Ahmaud Arbery back from February 23rd of this year. And we know that today, Roddy made his first appearance in front of the magistrate judge there in Glenn County. Now he faces charges of felony murder and criminal attempt to commit false imprisonment. The judge, during the hearing you see right there, read him his rights, the charges against him, told him that a Superior Court judge would later set his bail at some other time. And Roddy did not enter a plea today in that hearing. Now, according to the arrest warrant for Roddy that was executed yesterday when he was arrested and taken to jail, it says that he's accused of utilizing his vehicle to, quote, on multiple occasions to, quote, confine and detain Ahmaud Arbery without legal authority. That's the basis of the arrest and probable cause in the arrest warrant. Now, of course, Brian and his attorney, Kevin Goff, haven't kept silent today. Goff releasing an extended statement, Vinny. Let's put some of it up on the screen right now. Now, in the statement today, Mr. Bryan has committed no crime, says his attorney, and bears no criminal responsibility for Ahmaud's death. Roddy passed a polygraph examination that effectively exonerates him of any criminal responsibility in this matter. Then it goes on to say, notwithstanding the arrest of Mr. Bryant, however, and the hardship he and his family now endure, he said that Roddy and I remain sympathetic to the Arbery family and their quest for justice for their son. Now, interesting in the statement, he demanded Goff today in a filed motion for a speedy trial. So he says if it would help expedite matters and assist the DA, Mr. Bryan may even be willing to waive presentation of the case to a grand jury and proceed on accusation. In fact, we could even go a step further, he says. We don't need to spend weeks picking a jury. This is my favorite line. Why don't we just go ahead and agree now to take the first 12 jurors in the box? Roddy and I are quite comfortable with having this case tried this summer by the good people of Glenn County. That was his statement today, Vinny. He wants a trial as early as July.
This is amazing. And I don't know if it's surprising or not surprising, because the one thing we've learned about Kevin Goff is that he's unpredictable, unorthodox in the way he approaches defense of his clients. And here, Roddy Bryant demanding his speedy trial. And I think he said he was going to be ready on July 4th, right? Independence Day. He'll be ready to go. All right, let's bring everyone back in here. Julie Grant, let me start. Let's go through them. Number one, the arrest. The basis is that on multiple occasions, he attempted to confine and detain Ahmaud Arbery with his car. And I guess that is the attempted unlawful false imprisonment that becomes the predicate felony and the felony murder charge. Your reaction to that?
That has me confused. It had me confused yesterday. I kept thinking, well, maybe it has to do with the aggravated assault that they're alleging was committed by the McMichaels. But here, no, they're saying this was this attempt. I think we really need to see more, right? Because this little video clip doesn't show enough, mainly because it doesn't show Roddy Bryant. He's the one filming the video. So we don't know how he was driving behind him, how he tried to block him in, what he did after he stopped filming. I think there's a lot more that's going to come out. And I'm not surprised at all that his attorney wants to go ahead and let's get started on the case, because he's afraid of what will come out of that grand jury presentment, Vinny. I think this new DA gets a hold of this case, looks at it objectively with a fresh start. I think he's afraid that much more will come out of it. And remember, right now, this is not charged as a capital case, but it could become one. So I think that is the fear, and that is why he wants this process to move quickly.
You know, Ted, you look at, all right, what did he actually do that day, right? If he's part of this pursuit or joins the pursuit as it's underway, he's accused of trying to detain and confine him with his car. So I guess he's trying to allegedly block the road. And from that, he ends up facing the rest of his life in prison and potentially, as Julie said, could become a capital case.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening. I would hope not. This is his own statements, the video, you marry it together. And that's what they were doing, right? They were trying to detain Arbery without legal authority. And Roddy saw this happening, jumps in his car and follows the McMichaels and pitches in. And he even explains it. And that's part of how they piece all this together. Now, he's got to be just absolutely surprised that he's now facing this serious of a charge for, in his mind, just trying to help the situation out in his neighborhood. I think it's great that he's waiving time, going for it, because he believes this is a lawyer that is advocating for his client, and you know it is personal with him. And I love it when we have that. When you have a lawyer that is married to a case and wants to go to trial because he thinks his client's innocent, it's going to be fantastic to watch.
Yeah, and I want to listen to a little bit of what the GBI had to say today, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. They had a press conference this morning. And part of what the defense and Kevin Goff has been saying is he's a witness in this case. GBI disagrees.
If we believed he was a witness, we wouldn't have arrested him. So I'm not going to speak specifically about what we took from him, but eventually that will come out in a court of law. But suffice it to say, there are a number of pieces of video that helped us get to this point.
And there we go again, a number of pieces of video. And Chanley, the thing that is confusing about this for all of us who haven't seen these other pieces of video is that the defense of Greg McMichael, his defense attorney said, yeah, there's other video. And they're saying it helps us. Now you've got Vic Reynolds from the GBI saying, well, it pretty much helps us.
Yeah, that's the big mystery in this case. Even when I spoke to Lee Merritt before the charge and the arrest happened yesterday, he said, yes, he's seeing these multiple videos. They're both cell phone videos and home surveillance video that the GBI has, that the prosecutors have. And what's interesting to me is in this arrest warrant, it says on multiple occasions, Roddy Bryant tried to block in or trap in Ahmaud Arbery during this chase. In the police report, only one time is mentioned. So do these other videos, was that the basis and support and probable cause for this false imprisonment arrest, showing multiple times where Roddy Bryant perhaps tried to block Ahmaud Arbery in or trap them in towards the McMichaels? So that's an interesting point. And again, I think there's a lot, like Julie said earlier, that we don't know quite yet about this case. There's a lot more video, not just from surveillance and of the incident, but from also that home under construction too. A lot that we're going to learn over the coming weeks.
Absolutely. Julie, let's go to another part of Kevin Goff's statement here where he's saying, listen, these high-profile cases, it takes days, weeks to pick a jury. Let's just put the first 12 people from Glynn County who show up and put them in the box. How about that?
Yeah, go ahead, Kevin Goff, see how that works out for you. They say jury selection is an art, right? And every attorney will do it differently. Every attorney will say they have tricks and theories and all this. But at the end of the day, you really never know what a jury will do. We see it all the time here on Court TV, don't we? You never know, can't predict juror behavior. So I get what he's saying. He's trying to put out there that air of confidence about him, that he believes in his case. As Ted said, that's what great advocacy is about. Absolutely. And you heard Vic Reynolds saying, no way, Jose, is Roddy Bryant a witness? But you better believe behind closed doors, I bet his attorney will be talking with prosecutors and trying to make him one, Vinny.
The other part of this, Ted, and I'm taking this, from what he said in his statement. We trust, the good people of Glynn County. Kevin Goff and his client Roddy Bryant are from Glynn County. When the prosecutors come down, they're not from Glynn County. They're come down from the big city up in Atlanta. They're outsiders. This is a road game for the prosecution. Usually it's the other way around. Usually prosecutors are in the same courthouse in front of the same juries all the time. These prosecutors are coming up from metro Atlanta down to rural Glynn County. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, you don't think that jury pool is going to be a little bit suspect of the city slickers coming into their county, trying to enact justice in their county? This is a huge advantage for the defense, and we thought that this would be the case. There would be no change of venue. It was mentioned in that GBI press conference today where they were thinking, well, we expect that will be part of the equation here. That's not going to happen, and it shouldn't happen because for the defense, it's a huge advantage to try this in rural Georgia, not in Atlanta.
Yeah, and when you look at issues like where should a case be held, Julie, the case should be held where the crime takes place unless you can't get a jury that is fair.
Absolutely, Vinny. That's exactly right. And that's probably what we will see. But there is one thing that could happen, and who knows, we have to wait. It's so hard. We don't have a crystal ball. But perhaps if it gets to the point where because there's been nationwide attention on this case, right? There may be something that the prosecution could potentially do or the defense could do with a change of veneer, or the court could, make that decision as well, where just the jury pool is different. The place is the same, but, the jury pool is coming from somewhere else, from a comparable county. It's not like they could get, Fulton County, or Cobb County or a county that's much larger. It would have to be comparable. But that's the only other thing. Ted mentioned change of venue. Probably unlikely, maybe change of veneer. We shall see. But yeah, as he said, huge advantage for the defense. And we'll see what happens as this progresses and as more and more evidence is learned, if we'll even get to the point of a trial.
Yeah. So, Chanley, what's coming up next in the case? Are there any more court dates we know about that are coming up, or is everyone kind of on hold for now?
Well, as of right now, the court file isn't showing a hearing date for Travis, Gregory, McMichael. They need to appear before a Superior Court judge, too, to have a bond hearing. We know that their attorneys are saying they want to present new evidence that will hopefully get their clients released out on bond. And, of course, now Roddy Bryan will be able to appear before a bond judge as well. Other than that, the GBI today saying, surprisingly, that they're still investigating this. They're close to the end, but we're open to the idea that there still may be more arrests in this case. So every day is something new in the investigation of the shooting of Ahmaud Arbery.
All right. Thank you, everyone. We'll be speaking throughout the next 3 hours. A lot more to cover.